Hello everyone, and welcome to Outside, the series, of course, where we go outside zombies maps, such as Buried, which we have on our plate today. I'm super excited for this, and if you are too, make sure you leave a like in the video and subscribe so you can come back for more. But let's get right into it. So, starting with the spawn area, we have these windows. Let's just go ahead and hop on through them and walk around the outside. We can see this one has just a little zombie spawn location down here around the corner, and it looks like that's about it over here. And as for the other side, if we hop on through, it looks pretty much the same. It's got a little walkway that goes down to... oh my god. Actually, I suppose you can see this walkway from inside the map as well. So that's kind of funny. But, I mean, come on. That's not what we're interested here in Spawn, though, right? If I just hop on out here, we can take a better look at what this area looks like. So there's quite a few cool things to mention. First of all, this whole area has a barrier on top of it, right? So if I jump down here, we can see how high that barrier is. Obviously, there is no way to glitch on top of this. But what's interesting is these walkways up here also have a barrier as well. Don't know why, but it's kind of cool that they do. We get a little different perspective being able to walk up here. Kind of nice. The rest of this structure, though, however, it seems to have no collision at all. We just kind of fall through it all. But it does have this really cool rock animation that just constantly keeps going, where these rocks seem to spawn, like, inside the actual conveyor belt of this thing. Yeah, you can just see when they pop in right there. Look at that. And they travel along that conveyor belt and fall to their demise. But yeah, let's get a better look at this entire spawn area just to show how much geography there is here. So Buried does a really good job at giving this feeling of a massive desert here at spawn. But as you can see, there's not all that much geometry out here, and as it turns out, we can't walk on any of it either, unfortunately. But there's essentially just this big rock wall lining the back, and, well, around the sides, there's some random structures out in the distance, and that's about it. However, something that's really cool about Buried is these holes in the ground are actual holes in the ground that do lead down into the map. So everywhere around where there's light coming through some kind of hole in the ceiling, they are actual holes that do lead up towards the skybox. And man, is there a lot of them in this map. Right, so there's spawn. This whole area is essentially the, main part of the map. And then this, anthill looking structure out here is actually, the witch house and backyard area. So if we go down into here, we can see that these holes are leading down to the maze. Really makes me feel like they started with this geometry right here, made the map underneath, but then realized they had that massive maze section they had to cover up with something, so they just plopped this big dome over it, put a bunch of rocks up, used some fog, and, it works considering you can't really see it at all from spawn. Oh, I got witches after me? What did I do? Oh, I went down to the backyard of the... oh. Wait, so I'm curious. If I, just hop into the zombies menu here and kill all zombies. Sick. I got a free perk. And at the bottom of spawn here, there's a couple more windows to check out. So this one right here, where it looks like zombies can spawn here around the corner. There's some boxes that have no collision with them, and an empty room. And this side over here seems to have much of the same, a door that kind of leads to, I guess some, control panels, for the facility. But mostly unmodeled, just some boxes and a place for zombies to spawn and come out the window at you. And just in case you want to know what it's like to jump off this with God mode on, well, here we go. But if we get past that, it seems like we can go much further down, and then there's this barrier that just covers the bottom of the map, I suppose. And man, what a perspective this is, huh? But yeah, obviously everything below this level, right here, is not geometry, it's just 2D textures that are part of the skybox. So this hole doesn't actually exist, it's just artwork in the distance. Alright, enough with the spawn area, let's go ahead and hop down underneath. Oh my god, where's the hole? Oh. Alright, enough with the spawn area, let's go ahead and hop on into the slide. Slide on down to Quick Revive. And I think we got a ton to explore here. We're going to save the tunnels for later on in the video because I don't think they're super interesting. Let's start with the interesting stuff. Let's go ahead and hop down on here and let's see what's going on in some of these windows. Actually, almost passed this one up. There's one window down here in the bottom of the barn, and it looks like it's still a little stable room, perhaps, where zombies can spawn and come around the corner. Got a, saddlebag here on the wall, but not too much detail. And moving out into the village here, we have a few windows in these buildings. If I hop on into this one, we can see it goes to a staircase down to a little bookshelf area and a zombie spawn room right here. And we can see the big boy through the wall. We'll get to you soon, fella. Yeah, there's nothing too interesting about the books here other than they're actual books. There's Frankenstein, the Jungle Book, and things like that. But it doesn't seem like any Easter egg titles here. And if we move on past this, past one of the key spawn locations, there is a window down here through the hole. If I hop on through it, we can see that there's an identical key hanger here. Obviously, keys don't spawn here outside the map. But around the corner, there's a place for zombies to spawn, and that's about it here. Hey, buddy. How you doing? I'm going to leave you locked up for a little bit, actually. I don't want you following me around the map right now. And cross the way to where the crafting table is, there is another window, but it looks like this one isn't too terribly interesting. Again, just a place for zombies to spawn. And surprisingly, there's very, very little modeling in here. This is obviously just like a little artifact of the mod that I'm using. I'm using Iconic V3. The link is down in the description. If you got a PC copy of the game, you can download and inject this. But this freeze command seems to decapitate the zombies as well. Fantastic. All right, so the next stop, I think, is going to be the general store. So let's go ahead and hop on into here. There should be a few windows in here, so let's just go ahead and get on into this one. We got a little lantern and a window to... Oh, actually, why can't you see through that window? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you can see through this window just fine, but for some reason they decided that they wanted this room to be super dark. And moving on past that one, there is this one here as well, which it looks like it goes two directions, so it goes towards the bank, and it can also go towards the general store, with a little zombie spawn location down like a really dark wooden hallway. And lastly, upstairs in the general store, there is this window, which is probably the most boring room I have ever seen. Sick. All right, hopping down to the bank. I think there's a few things we could check out. So first of all, there's this area up here, which I think at one point might have actually had a glitch spot, but I can't remember. But you're not normally able to get up here. We can see there's a bookshelf, and there's actually no collision here whatsoever anymore. I just fall right through. But there is this door that's blocked up, and if we go through it, we actually see there's a little bit of a room here. So it's very dark. There's not much going on in here, but it does have a window that looks out to the balcony over here, which I suppose you can kind of see inside of. But again, really strange that this is translucent, but yet they decided that other windows, like the one that we just looked at down there, is not. Oh, the bank vault. Let's rob it. Let's rob it, boys. Oh. Wait, what a terrible bank vault. Yeah, so there's nothing inside the vault, obviously. There's no modeling in here. And actually, right on the other side is this broken wall right here. So, I mean, it seems very easy to rob the thing if you wanted to. Coming through the tunnel from the bank leads us to here, if I can hop on up. Oh my god. And we got a couple windows to check out, so let's hop on into this one. It looks like there's a really, really dark room back here for zombies to spawn. Yeah, I'm not really sure why this is so big. It kind of feels like they were at one point maybe leaving it open to the possibility of players being able to come through here instead, but decided to cut that off and funnel them back towards spawn this way or up and around the building over here. I'm guessing something like that would have made coming through here at a high round extremely difficult, because you'd probably come through here and then a horde of zombies would immediately be waiting for you that just came through the map. Yeah, probably wouldn't have been the best thing in the world. Got another window over here. Let's hop into it. And oh my god, this is massive. At first glance, I didn't really understand why this room was so big. None of the objects have collisions, so there's no real hints at it being a playable space. And from inside the map, you can't really see much of it. It's very dark. But it turns out there's a hole in the roof, and above us, of course, is a playable space. So it seems like they're just using that for some ambiance, so that there's an actual volume down there that you can look down into, shoot down into, and even throw grenades down into. So moving on past these chalks, we see the front door here is actually locked, and if we go through it, we can see that it is a real door. It goes to this little alleyway back here where I think parts for the guillotine are. But yeah, it's a real door, and it says out of business on it. So clearly, well, the Gunsmith didn't do too well once the whole zombie outbreak happened. All right, moving up the stairs, we have this window right here to hop on into. We got a nice portrait of the nuclear family. Nah, I'm just kidding. Clearly, that's the witch, right? I think that's the witch in the witch house, I believe. And I'm assuming this is like Jebediah Smith. Let me know down in the comments more about the lore of Buried. I don't know a ton of it. I know that the people in this town, right, during the outbreak of the zombies, and they did the stuff, the pack-a-punch. And Leroy's in prison. That's pretty much my synopsis. So yeah, let me know more down in the comment section. All right, that's it for the Gunsmith. Let's go ahead and move on to the saloon. So the first thing that struck me as kind of cool about the saloon is these places on the porch right there and there. If we hop on down, we'll see that there's these massive rocks seemingly covering up some stuff. So there's like what would have been probably like a little alleyway here. But if I go on through, we can see that it's just very, very dark, and it actually ends here at the edge of the map. And to cover up any like light from coming in, they put this massive like black wall texture right here that just blocks the outside. Also, I believe for the top too, right? So you can't see through any of this, no matter what. And as for the rock down at this end, I honestly have no clue why it's here. It seems to not really have much of a texture for me at the moment, although that could just be some kind of glitch. But yeah, there's no oddity down here. It seems like everything is modeled, like there's an actual back wall and all of that. And in fact, the porch here isn't even broken, right? It's completely fine. I don't know why that's there, but it is. And looking down here, we can see that there is a space underneath the porch. And if we go on into it, we can see that it does really exist. We can actually crawl and crouch down through here. Yeah, there's nothing all that interesting in here. However, we can buy the front door. So, I mean, there's that. And before going into the saloon, I'm going to take a sip of the coffee. Because, of course, I have my coffee with me here this morning. I hope wherever you are, whatever time you're watching this, you're enjoying yourself. Because, man, oh man, do I love myself some Buried. Buried is probably one of the easier maps out there, but it's a ton of fun to play. There's a lot of, like, cool mechanics. Like, I think the whole booze thing with Leroy, I just think that's a really cool mechanic, as well as, like, the candy system, so you can stick the box wherever you want. This map was really just made to be a fun, playable map for people to just enjoy, and that is something that I really love about it. I know that a lot of diehard Zombies players will say that it's too easy, and I understand that argument as well. There is a level of difficulty that people like, and I mean, I do too, but sometimes you just want to kick back with some friends, sit inside of a camp location like this one way back here, and, you know, just have a good time. Sometimes Zombies doesn't need to be about the Easter egg, you know? Which, honestly, the Easter egg for Buried is actually pretty sick, so there's that too if you wanted to do it. So yeah, overall, for me, Buried is pretty high up there on the tier list. I might put it S tier. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I'll do a tier list someday. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys would be interested in that. And while you're down there, make sure you leave a like on the video if you're enjoying yourself so far. And of course, make sure you're subscribed, because a whole lot of you guys aren't. And lastly, consider hitting the join button down below if you want to support me on my YouTube journey, so I can spend more time making videos like this for you guys. And with all that out of the way, let's get to the saloon. So back behind the bar over here, there's nothing too terribly interesting, other than it seems like there's a piece of the meteor over there. But, yeah, not 100% sure about that one. But yeah, there's this window down here at the back, which if we hop on into it, we can see that it looks like it's just a little pathway down here, a very broken and uneven pathway, that is, for zombies to spawn and move along to the window. And going on upstairs, let's hop on over here and check out this window first. There is a staircase, so I'm immediately interested. What's going on down here? And it looks like it is actually, so it's not fully modeled, obviously, but it does have full collision all the way to the bottom here. And there seems to be like a little room here as well that has collision, although obviously, clearly not modeled. There's no textures down here whatsoever. It's kind of strange that this doesn't connect to here. I guess perhaps they might have planned to do that and then realized they really didn't need to, so they just got rid of it to save on resources, because obviously Black Ops 2, it's an old game. And right here in the middle of the staircase where the Bowie knife wall buy is, it looks like this is a door, right? Or some kind of like false door or something. But as we can see going through it, it would make no sense whatsoever. There's no room in between that and here. So not exactly sure what they were going for there. Clearly not a door. But there is another window up here, and let's hop on into it. It looks like there's not much going on here. Again, just a little area for zombies to spawn. But there's not much detail, although this does have collision, so I guess probably to guide the zombies to the window. And towards the end of this hallway here, there's this door as well, and something that's interesting about it, if we hop on into it, well, we can see there's not exactly a room modeled beyond it, but this window that we checked out before that has this, like, weird, uneven pathway, it does actually lead up to where this door would have gone, which I thought was kind of strange. So, I mean, perhaps these two areas would have been connected, but obviously, well, time has gotten the best of this one. Take me to the candy shop. I'll let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. So in the candy shop here, there's a few cool details. If we hop on into this window, it's kind of like a stable area, right? Which doesn't really fit that well. But if we move on past that, there is this window back here, which looks like it goes down to like a cellar. And there's some barrels here, which do actually have collision. But yeah, really cool atmosphere, man. And looking up the staircase, though, looks a lot different than looking down the staircase. Going on upstairs in the candy shop and around the corner, we can see that there's a window right here to check out, which looks like it's some sort of bedroom. I'm not sure who. I suppose whoever owned the candy shop probably lived here. But yeah, it's got a little nightstand and an area right here around the corner for zombies to spawn, like from the guy's wardrobe, I guess, and come out around the corner to the window. Yeah, let me know if there's any significance to the guy that owned the candy shop. I don't know if there's any lore behind him, but here's a nice look at his bed. You can actually even look under it. Look at that. And if we go up the stairs on the other side of the candy shop, there is another window right here, which leads to a like reddish looking room with not a whole lot of detail. A little area for zombies to spawn here around the corner. Yeah, this place has seen better days. Actually, we can see straight through the map even right here. The power is on. So before moving on and checking some more of these buildings, I just wanted to point out something more about these holes that lead up to the skybox. If we no-clip up to them and let ourselves go, we can see exactly what has collision up here, and it turns out not a whole lot, right? But there is a little bit that does have collision, like this one right here, up to a certain point at least. Yeah, there's like a little bit of collision around like the rim, and that's about it. After you go through, you end up on a barrier that just covers kind of like the entirety of the map. And you can clip through areas like this, for instance, and get an idea of what it would be like to, say, walk above the actual candy store. There is some areas where you drop down, like where I am right now, and now I think I'm kind of stuck, actually. Oh no, here we go. Made it out. Perfect. Yeah, I just thought this would be a kind of a cool perspective before moving on. But next up is the Courthouse. So in here, there's quite a few windows right off the start. Over here on the left, there's this one, which provides a little area for zombies to spawn. And then there's also this one, which looks almost identical, although actually not in shape, but at least in modeling. Yeah, pretty much the same. But towards the back here, we have one that's a little bit more interesting. If we hop on into it, we can see, yeah, just a bunch of books and stuff, right? But there is this little room, which there is a barrier that blocks me from going into it, so I have to no-clip into it. And when I do, there's like little like rocks clipping through the wall. But yeah, there's like some weird space here and some like texture that's just clipping straight through the wall from outside here. And then coming on upstairs, we got some stuff to look at here. This would be a horrible place to put this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I kind of want the gun. Sick. So there's not a lot of windows in the upstairs, right? I think this is actually the only one right here, which seems to have a very similar construction to the one downstairs where there's this like side room kind of deal. Although there's no barrier and it's like brick in here instead of that weird texture of the wallpaper. And there's actually also this window back here as well, which, yeah, not too interesting. Although I think it would be really cool to walk up this, right? So let me just hop on past the barrier and see what that's like. And it looks like there is collision all the way up to here, and obviously right when I go through that, it kind of just pops out, and you can see right where the ground ends here. But yeah, man, this is a pretty cool perspective. And if we launch ourselves into the air, we can see where this hole would be in relation to where spawn is. There's even like this like little rooftop area here as well that's on top of like the courthouse. And over here, you can see that there is a little bit of a rooftop for the church here, but it seems to end immediately once it clips through the rock. So before going into the church here, I just wanted to take a look at some of the gravestones. Like, for instance, this one, it looks like Bo or something? Bob Hugh, I don't know. But it looks like he was legally hanged on April 1881. So I guess that date's buried, right? 1881? Jeez. So it was like the late 1800s this town was a thing, I guess? Or maybe early 1900s? I don't know. But yeah, these two don't have any kind of name associated with them, but if we move on past those, there are these two over here which do. So like this one, I think that's like F. Frank or L. Frank, something like that. Born April 14th, 1839. I think that's what that says. Not sure who Frank was, but he's got a grave here. And there's also this one as well, which I think that says like William or something. William, and he died in October 1887. All right, move it inside the church now. We got a window right to our right. If we hop on into it, we can see there's really not much going on here. It's just a little place for zombies to spawn, which is a little bit bigger than I kind of thought it would be. But other than that, there's not exactly a whole lot of modeling here. But something that's kind of cool about this church is it has this hole in the roof, right? And if we hop on up through it, it's not like the other holes around the map. It doesn't have any geometry like over here. It's literally just a hole up to the skybox with no like ground texture around it like the other ones. And behind the pew, we got this door right here, or I suppose window, And it seems like this connects all the way around to this one as well. So there's like a little U-shaped area back here. So zombies can spawn in the back and decide which window that they want to go to. And above the pew is this little walkway up here, which I believe zombies use, right? I think they spawn up here in the roof, and they can come along this walkway and hop into the map over here. And looking out towards the front, there's this nice circular window that gives us a beautiful view. But above us is what would have been the bell tower, and we can see that it's clearly destroyed. There is a bell, but it doesn't ring like the one on DE, and there seems to be, like, no kind of interesting details with it, I think. At least that I can tell. But it is kind of cool to see, like, what's going on with this. So it looks like they tried to, like, rebuild it, perhaps, but there wasn't any, like, good attempt at it, and it's just kind of floating up here, broken and dismembered. Yeah, you can kind of walk on some of it, and the actual, like, tower itself does have collision. Okay, there's something really cool I just realized, too. When I'm standing right here on the roof, you can see, like, down into there. It's very clear, right? But if I go up a little bit more, the color changes, right? And it's very, like, orangey yellow. Just kind of like on Transit, how different areas had different, like, colors associated with them. The spawn area above the map seems to have this, like, yellow-orangish hue, while the area below the map is much more clear, maybe a little bit like bluish. Yeah, and you can literally just get it to switch back and forth between the two by jumping up and down. That's hilarious. Alright, the old witch house. Let's hop on over the fence and see what's going on with this thing, man. So I didn't have the lights on in the witch house because I believe they spawned on me earlier. But now with them on, we can take a better look at some of these areas here that the witch just kind of like pops in between. So if I hop on into this one, for instance, there's a little bit of a space here for the witch to stand in, and we can actually go see the witch herself as well. She's kind of just standing there, and it looks like she teleports from one location to the other, right? So just kind of standing here in this idle pose animation. Where'd she go? Wow, she moves quick, don't she? Yeah, it looks like no hitbox for her, unfortunately. You can't take out the original witch. Yeah, it looks like there's three main areas, right? So there's this one area here, and then there's also these two areas that are kind of connected to each other, considering there's no, like, actual floor here. There is a barrier that I can stand on, and that I guess she kind of stands on in a way. As for the rest of the exterior here, there's nothing too interesting in most of these windows. There's not exactly, like, hidden rooms or anything like that. However, there is this tower right here that's bent and broken, and if we go into it, we can see it does kind of lead into the actual house itself. And if we look above it, the thing that bends and breaks it is a tunnel, that tunnel that you can take out from the witch house back to the actual main area of the map. And doing so seems to shut off the lights for the witch house, even if you didn't actually go through the witch house itself and shoot all the witches and get the free perk. So I guess I kind of just screwed myself, didn't I? But yeah, let's open it up, see what's going on inside. So, something I just noticed, actually. This teddy bear in the corner that is for the music Easter egg, it's faced the wrong direction. Is that normal? Or is something broken here? Because that seems broken. Like, surely they didn't accidentally just, like, not rotate the guy 180 degrees, right? Right? Yeah, not sure what's going on with that guy, but if we move on up the stairs, there's something really, really cool we get to check out. So, normally you go up to the left, right? Towards that bookshelf over there, and when you get close to it, of course, the bookshelf opens up, and usually witches will come around the corner and attack you. But, if we go to the right instead, we no-clip over here, we can see there's a wall, right? And on the other side, there's not much of a room, but we see there is another bookcase. And if we get close to it, it actually does the animation. Although, it's a very different animation. This bookshelf seems to actually flip 180 degrees and then slide, which really strange, not sure why that is. And just to put in perspective where this little secret room is, if we clip on out towards the back where the maze is, it's actually through these windows right here. So maybe unused content, perhaps? Or this could just be something that's stored so that it allows for this animation to work? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I'm going with unused asset. I feel like perhaps this area of the map was going to be maybe a little bit bigger, or like there was going to be a way to get around the corner here and go into this part of the house over here. Because there is a fully, like, functional floor, right? I do have full-on collision with this area of the map. There is, like, a wall here and a doorway, like, as you can see me carving through it right here, but it just doesn't lead anywhere. Instead, it's blocked off by these bookshelves. And I did my best to check here. I'm sure you guys can't really see what's going on, but I'm clipping through the wall, it doesn't look like there's a door back here. So they're not like hiding a doorway that they already had. Just there isn't one at all. Yeah, I suppose there wouldn't be much of a reason to actually have that as a playable space, but man, would it have been cool to just have all of this area right here where I can just walk around, and I don't know what this bookshelf would be hiding, but I guess like a way out back over here? I don't know. Which also over here, which I just realized falling through the wall there, there's an unused gate as well that seems to be just chilling here for no reason whatsoever. I don't know if you can really even see this from inside the map. I mean, I guess you kind of can, but obviously, like, there's no function to it, and honestly, it doesn't even really need to be there. So something interesting I noticed, that when you walk through this hallway here, a knocking noise that is very similar to the one that was added to the Kino Zombies Chronicles. You can hear that there's some guy just like pounding on a door, it sounds like, which I don't think there's any doors around here, so I'm not exactly sure where that's at, but it's happening. Yeah, there it is again. So as far as the rest of the house is concerned, or at least this upstairs portion, there's not much going on with it, although there is one kind of cool detail, all right? So there's this obviously like caved in area, and if we clip through it, we can see it does connect to this area over here, right, where the original bookshelf is that you can go through. Just thought that was kind of cool, and if we continue this way and clip through this, we can see that it would have connected to this room where the witch can stand in. Hopping back inside the house here, there's this unused area up here that you can't normally get to. If I hop on into it, we can see the paintings themselves are actually just like floating off the wall here, I guess to kind of make them feel a little bit bigger than they are when you're inside the map, although you can easily see that, can't you? But there's also this door back here, and if we go through it, well, we can see there's not a room here. I just fall right through. But in the door to the left is another bookshelf that has an animation, right? That it does this 180 flip and goes back and forth, just like the other one that we found up there. Not sure why it's here. I guess an unused asset just hiding right through that wall. And coming through the house here and around the corner, there's this door that I wanted to hop on through. Unfortunately, this one, though, it doesn't seem like it has any hidden secrets. It's just an area here with no collision whatsoever. No unused space, just nothingness. It seems they weren't really planning anything for this one. So here's just a better look at what the witch herself looks like. She seems to be a young bride who has unfortunately been widowed, right? I think that's the storyline, at least. The animation she makes when she takes your points, too, is quite creepy, actually. Look at that. It's like a soul steal. But as for the rest of the bottom floor here, it doesn't seem like there's much going on, actually. But we can hop on through over here and take a little bit of a look at the atrium here from a different perspective. Let's hop on top of the roof and just get a feel of what it would be like to be on top of the witch house. So there is collision throughout this entire thing at the level that I'm at. It seems like there's a barrier just covering the entirety of this house. But there's a little bit of a higher one, actually, for right here. I guess so you can use the paralyzer still to hop over the walls of the maze without hitting the top area of the map. But this is just a really cool perspective, man. This area is actually really big. I kind of didn't expect that for some reason. And if we hop on out of the map, say like right here, we can actually take a walk around the outside. So first of all, I think we looked at this already, right? There's not much going on in that corner, but we can take a walk around the entirety of this map, and we can see things like a broken lamppost right there, some random shrubbery, and around the back, an unused pathway like this one right here that leads to this window location where zombies can hop onto the map and come at you while you're trying to get to Pack-a-Punch. There's an identical one on this side of the map as well that leads over to this way, although, I mean, I guess not quite identical. It's a little bit different. And there's actually a barrier here on the right side, but if I hop on up into it, we can see that this area over here also has collision, kind of, although, again, more barriers, so I gotta get past them. Man, it seems like they were really worried about glitching in this area, because I can't get anywhere. Oh my god. But yeah, there's this window up here. If we hop on into it, even though it's completely filled with barriers, it looks like zombies spawn back behind these bushes, and they have this like little geometry to spawn on and come on out towards you. And around the back of this vestibule-looking thing, where Stamina Up is, there's this window right here where zombies spawn at and come on through, and we can get a look at this massive textured geometry back here, and this pathway as well that goes really far for no reason all the way to the edge of map over here. It's kind of crazy how much geometry there is back here. It's just blowing my mind, and it's a lot of fun to walk in. So if you got a copy of this game on PC, man, I really recommend you just come check out some of this stuff. I love what the devs have done at Treyarch with a lot of these maps, man. It's just crazy. Props to you developers for doing these amazing things. And in the middle of the mage here, I wanted to check out what happens when you don't blow up the actual, like, fountain, just to see what's going on underneath it. And if I jump on into it, well, we can see it does have a bottom. There is collision down here, and we can stand in the well, stuck, asking for help from our local fire department. But back in the vestibule, I believe there's a window down here to check out, so let's go ahead and walk on down the staircase and check it out, hop on into it. It looks kind of just, you know, a bunch of brick textures with a little zombie spawn location, but not much going on. I think the only real modeling is some shrubbery and a lantern. And just in case you want to know what it's like I do, to jump off this with God mode on, here we go. Oh my god. Okay, so it seems like there is a little area, little pocket down here of collision that it funnels you to. So I'm kind of like stuck in like a little area, like it's like a crevice. It's like a V. And if I clip up a little bit more, we can get a little bit better of a look at the texture. There is a lot of fog in here though. R_fog 0. Oh my god, that changes this completely. Okay, so turning off the fog really doesn't help, because there's also no light down here either. But we can see that this entire area is textured. Actually, wait. Yeah, there we go. That kind of provides light. Yeah, so we can see there is texturing to these rocks, even though it's super, super dark and you really can't see anything. But below us, it's just like a black, flat barrier, and that's about it. But yeah, in between, there's like this like broken spiral staircase that I guess would have led down to somewhere. I have no idea. I mean, this never really made any sense to me. I don't know what this witch was planning. Because, I mean, who has a spiral staircase in their backyard that's this massive? Well, I think that's pretty much it for the witch house and the area behind it. So let's go ahead and hop on up into the tunnels and move on to the next part of the map, which I think, let's just take a little detour time to go through the tunnel system itself and show what it has to offer. So if we hop on up into here, we can take a look at what's going on. There's not a ton of interesting details up here. There is like areas like this, for instance, which end off, and if we pop on past it, we can see that there's some modeled space, but of course, this is just more of the walkway. But there is some window spaces like this that do lead to areas that are not playable. They're just not very interesting. And taking this pathway right here leads us back to the good old quick revive room. It's come full circle, boys. And girls, there's some of you guys too. I know you're there. So we did skip this area at the beginning, but there's pretty much only one kind of cool detail to it. Over here to the left, there's this tunnel area up here that seems to be unused. So like we hop up into it. It looks like the other tunnels, but unfortunately it just dead ends. Maybe they were planning to continue this onward and connect to the actual tunnel system, but it seems like that didn't happen. Instead, they just left the one that was below it, and the one that's above, well, they just cut it off.
Here, there, seems like everywhere, nasty things are happening, and now everyone is scared. Old Jeff Brown, the blacksmith, he saw his mother die. A critter took a bite from her, and now she's in the sky. The angels came down to old Jeff and told him what to do. Build yourself a great machine, its punch will see you through. When you pack a bunch, the whole damn bunch will not last very long. And while you put yourself to work, sing a country western song.
Now, Jeff didn't know much about engineering, so he just put his trust in the angels and set to work. After many days and many nights, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a little help from the angels, of course, he was ready to show his machine to the whole damn town.
Friends, neighbors, ladies, gentlemen, if you're feeling underpowered, I'll help you make amends. Stick your weapon in the slot and let it change your luck. Few things in life are guaranteed, but I promise this won't suck. Punch your fists into the air and raise a rebel yell. There's lots of bad uns out there you need to send to hell. With Pack-a-Punch, I have a hunch your problems will be gone. But if you end up on the ground, sing a country western song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Buried. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a fantastic experience for me. And if it was for you as well, make sure you leave a like on the video. It helps me out a lot. And of course, subscribe so you can come back for more outside videos. And of course, I got a few ideas for a series that I think you guys will like a lot, so stay tuned for those as well. But yeah, that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. You all stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
But if you end up on the ground, sing a country western song. Wow!